Hello and welcome to the third and final part of our little talk about the characteristics of hazards. In the first week, we talked about what the IB syllabus expects of us, what the difference between a hazard and a hazard event, and the characteristics of a hurricane. In part 2, we talked about the characteristics of an earthquake. So if you haven't seen those, make sure to check in the website's archive to catch up. Now, today we're going to start by talking about droughts. Droughts are extended periods of dry weather leading to extremely dry conditions. However, different cultures and organizations have different definitions for a drought. For example, the United Nations Environment Programme, the UNEP, defines a drought as when there are 2 or more years with rainfall substantially below the mean. This means that normally dry areas, like deserts, are not constantly experiencing drought, as the mean is already pretty low. Now, because of the lack of rainfall, drought leads to arid conditions, and a large proportion of the world experiences these arid conditions. This is an issue because water is necessary for farming. For example, millet is the only crop that will grow in arid areas. That means that less than 250 millimeters of rain per year. Not only is low rainfall a problem, but so is rain variability. Large variabilities in rainfall have large effects on vegetation cover, farming, and the risk of flooding when an unexpected amount of rain comes in. There are many causes of drought and or arid conditions. However, the main cause is global atmospheric circulation. Dry air descends near the tropics, causing aridity around the 20 and 30 degrees south and north of the equator. Another factor is distance from the sea, which limits the amount of water carried in crosswinds and in the atmosphere. Another one is human activities such as deforestation, which leads to soil erosion and desertification, as well as El Niño events causing short-term droughts, especially in Australia and Indonesia. To summarize the characteristics of a drought, they are medium in frequency and regularity, they have a very long duration, they are very widespread, they have a slow speed of onset, and a large spatial dispersion. Now, second and last on today's list are technological hazards. Now, they endanger life and property due to the misuse of technology. In general, it is the people and not the technology itself that cause the disaster. Due to their nature, they include a wide range of disasters such as car and plane crashes, war, oil spills, industrial accidents, and contamination, both nuclear and non-nuclear. The nuclear, such as would be the case in the Chernobyl accident, which was caused by the failure to follow proper safety protocols, and not by the nuclear technology itself. Now, because of their nature, we can't describe technological hazards in terms of their spatial extent, predictability, frequency, magnitude, duration, speed of onset, or effects. That depends on the specific technological hazard in question. Now, if you'd remember all the way back to part 1, we have to be able to distinguish between the chosen hazards in terms of those 6 characteristics. So let's dive in. In terms of frequency, which is how often an event of a certain size occurs, hurricanes come in first place, followed by droughts, which are followed by earthquakes, being the most rare. In terms of duration, the drought is the longest, followed by the hurricane, which is in the middle, and the earthquake, which is the shortest. And again, in terms of areal extent, the drought is the largest, followed by the hurricane in the middle, and the earthquake being the lowest. And for the third time in a row, the drought comes in with the slowest speed of onset, followed by the hurricane in the middle, and the earthquake with the fastest speed of onset. In terms of spatial dispersion, the drought is very diffuse, while the earthquake and the hurricane are very concentrated. And finally, in terms of regularity, as expected, the hurricane comes as the most regular, which is expected because it comes in seasons, followed by the earthquake, which is quickly followed by the drought. This concludes our 3-part mini-series on the characteristics of hazards. Next time we'll be talking about a brand new subtopic, so make sure to tune in. Thank you for watching.